Just gonna see what happens here. This is the day as it exists right now. No tampering. Okay. Okay, right here is usually the point at which everything changes. So once I get back here, it's probably going to be wind and stuff, okay? I want you to take a look. Okay. And just prove my statement. Letting nature and the matrix itself do the talking. I clearly said that was the point of which things change. Correct? Now, in terms of the matrix, there's a grid line difference here. I want to show you something. I have charged this area to my personal specifications, okay? This spot, right there, once you cross that, that happens, okay? Now we go back over there, take a look. Take a look. Take a look. You see? Grids. That particular area, once I cross, has been designated, charged to do what it does. Now, if you look over there, you see those trees, like just in the back? That's the opposite area of where I was at. It's a difference of 10 feet. It is now moving and swaying back and forth with everything else because I'm on the opposite side of that grid line. Okay? Like I said, this is charged to my specifications. That is the spot right up there in which I normally do my stuff. It is also charged to my specifications. There's a couple of videos I wanted to do today. I'm going to see how this works. Some people want how-to videos. It's very difficult to do how-to videos though, because every single person is slightly different at their own stage of learning. Right back there is where we were at. Okay, so I want you to look. Still swaying. You can actually hear it gathering down there. If you listen carefully. See all that? And there wasn't an ounce of wind before. Okay, now I'm getting close up to here. Look how the place starts to activate. Okay? It literally activates. These birds. It literally activates as I get closer to it. And I can count on the fact that it's going to do that every single time that I come up here. The wind blast went just as I said that. Okay? This is the place that you see in almost all my videos. A lot of people want how-to videos. I think a lot. I mean, if you really watch the videos, I'm literally giving you technique after technique in those videos. There we go. Notice how I cranked it and it got windier. Okay. That's me kind of just getting myself acquainted, warming the system to my own personal frequency. Anytime you hear me humming does a couple of things, okay? What humming does is that it begins to put your personalization into your personalization of the frequency, the place that you're at. So you actually begin to warm it up to you. Okay, so as I hum, as I harmonize, as I do the things that I do, this whole place feels it and feels my resonance and my vibration. When you do hum, you want to hum in tune, so please know your tuning when you're humming, because an off note is painful to hear for anything, okay? Another thing that humming does, okay, humming accelerates atoms. When I do that, I'm making things go faster. I'm buzzing. It's like taking it, if you can imagine an atom like this, and the electrons circling around it, when I buzz, it's doing stuff like that. So if I'm going, I've got an oscillation that I'm making it go. It's a speed of which all the atoms begin to operate on, okay? So not only do you add your personal frequency into the area, okay, then you can get used to moving atoms quicker, okay? And usually I hum, and I get my vibration frequency, so think of it like this. If my power levels are here, I'll hum. I'll bring it up just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So then I can tap into exactly how much energy that I want to use at any given point. But this is something that takes a pretty much a thorough amount of practice, because you can easily get one effect one day and then not the same effect the next day. Okay, when you first start doing the humming thing, it's kind of like you're in the gunslinger days. You have to practice it and practice it and practice it. Then you have to practice to the point where you know what frequency is going to do what. If I go or if I go, I want to know which frequency does what kind of an effect it actually has on the environment. Okay? And so is the effect chaotic? Well, we don't want that. Is the effect peaceful? That's a much better sensation to feel for everything, for everyone. So, but it's good to know what does what, so you have to work with it, okay? And then if I were you, I would delve into music a little bit. Music is something there, the way music operates, at least the notes. Go in there, listen to what an A sounds like, a B, C, D, E, F, and G. See what they all sound like, okay? Know what a sharp sound sounds like versus a flat sound. Know that when you do hum, you're trying to hit an exact perfect note, so that way it's pleasurable for everything. And then the harmonic interaction is actually much better. Okay, it's accented. This whole place, if everything operates on frequency and vibration, then music in itself is an extremely powerful thing, which means notes are an extremely powerful thing. It's all communication. So keep that in mind. People want to know how long I've been doing this. I've been doing this like close to 20 years in some way, shape, form, or another. Actually, most of my life, because even when I was a kid, not that I practiced it per se that much, but I definitely played with it a lot. So, yeah, for a good majority of my life, there may have been actually about 5 years of my life through the teenage years that I didn't play with it. So, I'm 40, so probably 35 years. For real. This stuff here is dependent upon how much time you want to spend with it. How good you get at it is all going to be dependent on what you put into it. You know, there was a time where I would spend about 6 to 8 hours a day working on this stuff, okay? No joke. I would work really hard on humming, meditating, and getting myself in contact. I would go out and I would introduce myself to all of this stuff. Let it know how much I loved it. Okay, all of this stuff. Wherever I was at, I started treating this stuff as if it were my best friend or a relative. I treated it as if it were an equal, which in case it's well above my equal. So they were actually treating me as if I were an equal. Let's look at it that way. This is the stuff. This is your bread and butter. This is some of your best teachers. You go out and you spend the time with these guys and really let them know that you love them. You're going to find yourself having some really crazy interactions with plant and animal life. Really crazy interactions, okay? And as long as it knows, because it's a consciousness, as long as it knows that you are in fact a loving person who is in fact introducing yourself to it because you believe it to be an equal, okay, and because you love it with all your soul, then it's going to start having these interactions with you, things that you just won't be able to explain. You'll just be able to show it. This is all based upon magnetism. Okay? So, the closer you get to stuff, the more of a magnetic attraction you have with it. Magnetism. Nikola Tesla, look him up. He was trying to teach people things here. He even created technology based upon it that worked pretty gosh darn well. So, that's what this is. And then at the very foundation of everything, it is working things to their cellular, molecular, nuclear levels, and way beyond. Once you realize that you are everything and everything is you, then it becomes much easier for your mind and your consciousness to expand outwards into everything, and to breathe, and to think through everything as if you were it. Okay? There's a lot of stuff to cover if we were to do a real how-to session. How to. As I've said before, you have to enact. I didn't have anyone telling me how to do this stuff, so I didn't have any teachers. This is stuff that I taught myself. Now, I'm not going to say that I'll say this. I did have teachers, they just weren't earth teachers, okay? That's going to be the truth of that. I did have these guys. I would say this is about as close to a terrestrial-based teacher as I had. So like I said, this will be some of your best stuff right here to learn from. But my direct teachers are not from here. I mean, you can think what you choose. And you can judge, say what you want about me. But I can tell you this. There is no amount of skepticism that's going to be able to erase the truth of the matter. Okay, so I stumbled across this, not by chance. I was contacted, not by chance. And I've been trained to do the stuff that I do. And I've been trained by some of the best universal masters that there are out there. That's for real. Okay, so we live in a very, very weird place. Most people don't realize how weird it is because they're too busy with their heads in their iPhones or televisions. And you have media determining what your reality is, so as long as you have the media determining what your reality is, there's no way you could ever know about something so grandiose as this. Because they keep that stuff from you. You know, they're not teaching that stuff. They'll show it to you in like movies and fiction and dangle it in front of you and go, yep, this is something you'll never be, but you can aspire. You know, what if one day we could all do it? They throw that at you. Okay? But the world in which you live is so very flip-flop from everything that you know. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the stuff that you even look at right here, that your eyes are telling you is a bunch of foliage and trees and, well, air, earth, sky, birds. This isn't what you see it as. It's not even close. If you had any clue as to what you were truly inside of, well, A, it'd become more fun in many ways, but B, it would probably scare a lot of people. It's one of the reasons why they do keep stuff from you. That's one of the reasons why they make sure you go to work, you clock in, you come home, you take care of those kids, and you go to sleep. Because if you knew, okay, if you truly knew, it would probably spin a lot of your minds pretty hard, okay? And there's some people that came equipped down here to be able to see what this place truly is. A lot of it is arguably, okay, granted. So for Christianity, a lot of it is arguably on the biblical level. This whole place is a two-way mirror. There are things watching. So I want to be really clear on that. You're not the top of the food chain here, by the way. Not even close in that regards. You are an experiment, and you are being watched as such. Okay? Tons of you gave away your free will a long time ago. This whole government collapse thing that just happened recently, with the government shutdown and everything, that was one of the last chances for free will to have been actually followed through on for at least the American citizens. The rest of the world still has a chance in many ways. Okay? So I'm not, all I can say is this. If you know who you are, they don't have any power or authority of you that you don't willingly give over. Does that make sense? If the whole world knew what this place was and the whole world accessed their abilities, there's no way that any government institution could control them. But then again, if the whole world knew about this, we'd be living much differently, and we'd be a far more loving society. Because once you realize that you have responsibility for your own soul and how your own soul emanates, once you realize that you have that responsibility, then you understand how precious every single life form is. How precious everything it is that you look at. Every breath that you take. A lot of this was a gift, a pretty big gift. And you guys don't realize the technology that you're in, so you don't know how to use your technology. This is a brain. That brain in there does some crazy stuff. No joke. Once you access it, that's like literal technology. Your heart, boom, 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 pounds a ton of energy. You can take that heart energy, mind energy, apply it. Sky's the limit as to what you can achieve. They know this. I've had a pretty interesting life with dealing with what you would call agent system that truly exists. If you ever watch the movie The Matrix, they show agents. That was no joke. That stuff exists. I've dealt with them. They've dealt with me. They've actually tried to take me out of the equation a couple of times, okay? It ain't gonna happen. Ever. Some of us know who we are and what we can do and what we're capable of. So after a while, after they realized that I wasn't going to back down, that I am who I am and I just do what I do, that I'm actually no threat to them, then they started leaving me alone. Don't get me wrong, they still watch. Very well aware of that. They still do their surveillance. And they've gone as far as to send their black military choppers. They've gone as far as to send their little black SUVs. They've gone as far as to send agents in some of the slickest cars I've ever seen and some of the slickest suits I've ever seen. And I've seen some really interesting stuff with them. I've seen those beings appear out of thin air, if you would call it that. But again, this is just a matrix, so they can just hack right in, and there they are. So, it's not what you think it is. This place isn't what you think it is. And so, if you just approach things with that love energy and really mean it, everything starts to work on your behalf for you. And then you can help and work on its behalf. Okay? Quit cutting down all this stuff. I'm going to say that right now. Quit cutting down all your trees. Only a really stupid civilization is going to be dumb enough to cut out their oxygen supply. You guys need to start telling people to back off. You're going to have to start telling people to quit chopping or letting all the stuff happen in the ocean. You guys literally let them spray acid in the ocean. You didn't stop them. BP, chemical oil spill. Got the thing with Fukushima too, so that's bad too. You got stuff that's now stalling all the currents out there, the natural currents that exist in the ocean that keeps things running properly. You're going to have to start showing Mother Nature some respect. Right now, she's already aligning.